Over as Calgary Stampeders head coach midway through last season. The Stampeders were in trouble, but they proceeded to become one of the CFL's best teams in the second half. They won 8 of 10 league games under Kuharich and suffered a hard-fought loss to the Edmonton Eskimos in the playoffs. This season, Kuharich wanted Calgary to move up in the standings, to pick up where they left off, but they didn't do that. Again, against the Alberta rivals, the Edmonton Eskimos, the Stampeders were whipped 33-0 as Chris Skinner broke a long one early for the Grey Cup champions. And with those words, Larry Kuharich signaled the task at hand tonight for his Calgary Stampeders. 0-1, their home opener coming up next week. They try to even their record under the dome at BC Place against the Lions. The player who has made the most impact with his new CFL team this season is quarterback Matt Dunnigan, now of the BC Lions. But they have surrounded him with other newcomers, including scatback Anthony Cherry, who scored 2 touchdowns as the Lions opened the season by beating Winnipeg. Tony Martino is replacing kicking legend Louis Passaglia in Vancouver. He had first-game problems against Winnipeg and came out with a sore foot that could bother him tonight. Jeff Braswell isn't bothered by much. He is the vocal leader of the BC defense, and he likes the fact he's going to be playing against Calgary tonight.
They like to run. I'm from the Big 8, and I like to attack. That's the thing about it. I'm glad we got a team that's going to try to run the ball. Then now I can show them how to get down and dirty.
And if you can get dirty playing on artificial turf, Jeff Braswell will, the way he plays. Hello again from BC Place Stadium, where we watched the Lions win their league opener by 33 points. Calgary lost by 33, and Neil Lumsden, I think enthusiasm or lack of same had a lot to do with both of those scores.
Well, Kuharich had a lot of success last year with a good football team in Calgary because, 1, they executed well, and 2, they had a lot of emotion. They did not have that in Edmonton. He said to us today that Edmonton had a lot more fun last week than we did. Well, fun is winning and executing. They have to put that fun back in the game tonight.
The BC fans had fun watching the Lions with Dunnigan, a wide-open offense, and perhaps even more so, they enjoyed watching the defense led by Jeff Braswell as they went to the ball and, of course, kept the Blue Bombers out of the end zone. The Stampeders haven't been there yet this season, haven't got any points at all, and so we watch a Calgary team that must really turn things around quickly in game number 2 against a BC team that would like to be 2-0 atop the Western Division of the CFL. Join us for Calgary against the Lions here at BC Place Stadium. I'm Dave Lumsden, and you're watching the Canadian Football Network. The BC Lions are used to winning here. Their victory over Winnipeg last week was their 12th straight in a home opener. But the Calgary Stampeders have some success at BC Place Stadium as well. In fact, the last 3 league games they have played here, they defeated the Lions. Rick Johnson, the top quarterback in the CFL in 1986, certainly did not reach that form last year, an injury-plagued season, and Matt Dunnigan is certainly hoping that his second game as a Lion could be as good as the first.
Dunnigan certainly seems to be having fun. When he first got here in training camp, he had nothing but optimistic things to say, and just he was on his way up, whereas Johnson before the game was a little bit frustrated after last week's concussion in Edmonton, wants to prove something today.
J.T. Hay will kick the ball off to start the game for the Stampeders. He'll kick it with the black shoe on his right foot. And we are set to go. The Lions try to be 2-0, and the Stampeders try to avoid being 0-2. Anthony Drawhorn, a rookie defensive back who scored last week, tries to do the same in the first play of this game and comes close to that. Gets into the 47-yard line of the Calgary Stampeders. Drawhorn had a touchdown given to him by teammate Keith Gooch, but he was all on his own there, Neil.
Well, a simple breakdown in the coverage. Calgary coming downfield. Coaches stress when you cover a kick, stay in your lanes. Don't get knocked out. And it almost looks like Drawhorn's going laterally. He finds a gap and cuts inside Beverly. Just goes straight upfield.
Movement is the byword of this BC offense. They want to be moving sideline to sideline and try to get the defense doing the same thing. Set it up with a run up the middle. Tony Cherry, the rookie, for 3 yards.
Anthony Drawhorn from Nevada at Las Vegas. Was a cornerback before he got into Lion country. Now changed to halfback. Certainly made an impact on first game and early today.
Matt Dunnigan threw for a touchdown, ran for one last week as well. On second down, 7 yards needed. Quick handoff again. Cherry with room to the left side. Where they place the ball will determine whether it is first or third down.
Well, what we see there is the first part of a play that was executed very well last week against Winnipeg. The running play to Cherry. The next time, Matt Dunnigan might decide to keep that and continue on. Good lead block by Parker.
It is third down, and the Lions will go for it from the 39-yard line of the Calgary Stampeders. Back to the eye. Now they spread. Parker and Cherry behind Dunnigan, who will keep it himself and without trouble get the 1 yard needed for the first down.
I would have guessed before this game started, Larry Donovan would have liked to have the ball 35-yard line and hold on to it. His thinking going into the game was, I'd like to score quickly, but use the clock up at the same time.
Well, he'd like to score first. There's little doubt that every coach wants to do that. But yes, he'd like to control the ball and establish a few things on the way to that touchdown.
Adam Rita, another offensive coach, saw some things in the Calgary defense that they thought they could take advantage of early and do that, get on the board very early. Donovan, again, like we had said, would rather use more the clock up, but still be the first one to get in the end zone.
So far, establishing the run seems important for Matt Dunnigan and the Lions, as it was last week against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. New wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. That's Sam Moore replacing the injured Byron Williams. Another Williams. Dave on the other side. Dunnigan looks that way. Throws where nobody was. The Stampeders watched it fall just as the Lions did, and it'll be second down.
The key to if Calgary's going to have success on defense, and Cahart's game plan for defense is to push Matt Dunnigan from the outside in. Get in his face early, force him to run up the middle, but make sure you have somebody in the middle to stop him when he decides to take off.
Second and 10. Dunnigan lots of time and cutting across the middle. Dan Carinci for the first down catch inside the 20.
Not only is Carinci an excellent receiver away from the football, but when he gets an opportunity to catch it, outstanding. But the key is he comes back to the football. Dunnigan, great protection by that big offensive line. He can sit in there, read, but see how Carinci comes back away from the defensive backs and circles around. Gave him another 6 yards.
They're working Anthony Cherry, and he breaks 2 tackles and busts inside the 10. He'll be close to a first down.
When I asked Larry Donovan yesterday what the best thing was after the game, or what he saw in the game last week against Winnipeg before watching films, was that they were able to run the football and run it early.
From the University of Oregon, Anthony Cherry has been the workhorse, and that doesn't mean that the other back doesn't do a lot of things. Anthony Parker has had a good game blocking against Winnipeg, and already tonight he has been evident there. Memphis State University's Anthony Parker is the injured line.
Larry Donovan paid Parker quite a compliment yesterday, saying he's just like John Henry White. And John Henry White, a very valuable running back to this BC Lion football team for many years. And what made him so good and valuable was he could block, run out of the fullback spot, the halfback spot. He could catch the ball. He was really an all-purpose, very successful running back.
He receives a hand as he leaves for one or more plays. They gave Cherry a gain of 9, so it'll be 2nd and 1. Lions from the Calgary 10-yard line. The Lions doing exactly what Larry Donovan wanted them to do. Control the ball and hopefully score. We'll find out in the next minute or so, and in the next 10 yards if the Lions can get in. 2nd and 1. He's going to throw it to the end zone. Touchdown Lions. David Williams, who was the big receiver last week, starts off this game with a touchdown catch.
Strictly timing. Matt Dunnigan will go back, look, but for no one but Williams, and lay it out over the shoulder to the sideline. So the defensive back has to just really come out of his shoes if he's going to knock the ball down. Ron Hopkins was in his hip, but not able to make the play. Good throw and a great catch. The
Lions did it running, mostly with Cherry, and they did it passing. Dunnigan hit Carinci with one, and then Williams with the scoring toss. Tony Martino to add the extra point. Without trouble, it is 7-0 Lions. There's a flag down on the conversion, and referee Bud Steen points to BC.
I don't know if you could be any more impressive in a starting drive than what you've seen from the BC Lions right here.
Illegal substitution. BC, 1 point will stand. Apply penalty on the kickoff.
So Matt Dunnigan throws to that man, number 2, David Williams, and the Lions lead by 7. We may forever remember Larry Donovan's analysis of Tony Martino's field goal problems. The coach said he misses them.
Well, he could have just simply short-legged it there, swung, not complete follow-through. Oftentimes you take it for granted, but you have to have the support of your teammates. Don't worry about it. You can't let it bother you the next time you line up to kick one.
Clearly a break for the Stampeders, who could have been down 14-0. This is their first running play, and they don't run it up the middle, but rather try to get outside with Tim Petros, and the Lions prevent that.
That play right there that Tim Petros ran had a tremendous amount of sex for the Stex. It was ran very well last year when they played in Calgary. The success was tremendous. They're going to try it again, but the pursuit took it away.
2 yards for Petros. It is 2nd down 8 from the Stampeder 37. Straight back Johnson with a rush. Threw it way up in the air. The intended receiver was knocked down, and Petros gets up complaining, and Johnson will be there too to state the Calgary case. The ball was hanging up there. Petros waiting to catch it, and he was decked before the ball could get to him. And a flag immediately was thrown.
The flag will be for interference on Jeff Braswell, the middle linebacker. Johnson trying to set up a screen, never really got a chance to have it set because the rush came in too quickly.
Pass interference. BC 44 behind the line of scrimmage. First down.
Great rush. You see Johnson just backpedaling to save his life, and Braswell right there pushing Petros into the turf. Got to wait till he catches it and then drive him into the ground.
That's Anthony Cherry. They suspect ligament damage, and they'll look at him more closely at halftime. He will not play until at least the 3rd quarter. Bullet toss by Johnson is a little bit too far. Intending it for Larry Willis.
I thought we might see the Stampeders counter with a hurry-up offense of their own. Try to put some pressure back on the BC defense. Rattle them a bit. Swing that momentum pendulum over to their side.
It's hard to look at the Lions and see what it does for them and not think that it's something worth trying, especially if you're having trouble getting going. The Lions used it to create momentum last week and to give them instant momentum this week. 2nd and 10, the Stampeders are at their 47. Jump flag comes down, and the Stampeders will undoubtedly take the penalty unless it is determined that they drew the movement from the defensive side of the ball.
James Quick Parker a little bit too quick on the outside there. Donovan said last week he thought the Bombers would try to take advantage of a soft middle, some inexperience. He said exactly the same to us yesterday. He felt the Stampeders would try to, especially with Petros and Gary Allen, to get up the inside and again take advantage of 2 younger players.
Offside, BC number 40. 2nd down repeated.
A lot of returning veterans in this Calgary offense. The backfield is familiar. The wide receivers, Willis, and the one newcomer there, Tony Dennis from Saskatchewan. And up front, pair of imports. Lee Spivey at left tackle, Reggie Irving at right guard, and that's uncommon in the CFL to find 2 Americans on the offensive line. Allen for the first down. That was the end of a battle between Emmanuel Tolbert and Larry Crawford that began right here.
Well, you might as well mix it up downfield. The receivers have to learn, though, in the running play, their block could make the difference from a play only going 7 yards and breaking it. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't think Larry Crawford likes it much.
Stampeders are in Lions territory. Johnson threw it too low. Willis, wanting to stay on his feet, might have had a chance if he'd left his feet to dive for that ball, but instead the ball hit his feet. On defense, they call themselves the Posse here in Vancouver. 2 rookies in the middle and 2 veterans at the ends. The linebackers, a lot of talk about Jeff Braswell's play last week. Craig Stuman, of course, the outstanding defender of last season in the CFL. The secondary has suffered some losses from last year to this year, but still is strong for the Lions. Good draw call by Rick Johnson to Gary Allen. Close to a first down.
Good job by the Calgary offensive line, taking the BC lineman where they want to go. If he wants it to go to the outside, just keep pushing him and give your running back a lane. Gary Allen, a quick sidestep right here away from Stuman. Boy, he gets upfield nicely.
Larry Kuharich is known as a coach who gambles on third down of the CFL. He doesn't really care where or when or how many yards are needed. It is 3rd and 2, and the Stampeders go. It will be rather close. Kuharich walking that way to get a look at it. Petros carried the ball, and they will measure.
Well, we're seeing a bit more emotion in the Stampeders this week. Marshall Toner in that short yardage play, playing a little bit to the outside, could have just gone down in field and stood in front of a defensive back. Instead, he went down and put a shot on Keith Gooch. Again, Guth took exception to it, but that'll make a difference if they keep doing and pushing that attitude.
First down is made. Kuharich says thank you. That was not a wild gamble, though. The Stampeders may have been a little too far out for J.T. Hay to try a field goal, and with 3rd and 2, you might as well go, especially when the score reads like that. Calgary first down, BC 42-yard line. Johnson has to improvise. Threw a nice pass, and at the end of it is Tony Dennis for the catch. And a first down inside BC's 15-yard line.
Dave, you said earlier Johnson likes to go to the receivers he knows and is comfortable with, Willis and Tolbert. But if Tony Dennis keeps helping out his quarterback like this, Johnson gets in trouble and he finds and improvises. But Tony Dennis, you see him stop in the middle of the screen there. He'll work back across and give Johnson a target. That doesn't give his quarterback confidence. Nothing will.
Johnson made that play with confidence. He did not panic when the initial receivers were covered and his time ran out. He made some more time for himself, looked to a secondary receiver, and threw a perfect pass. From BC's 14-yard line, the Stampeders down by 8 points. Marching. Johnson could run it himself. I think that's the intended play. Put his head down to get another yard and went out about the 8.
Looked like they were tearing a page out of the BC Lion offensive book right there. Rick Johnson setting his backs to go one way and then putting it on his hip. Just waiting that 1 second to see if he could get the BC Lions defense to go to the other side of the field. And took it to the sideline.
Well, all our options are available to them here on 2nd down and 4. Petros and Allen in the backfield. We could see the Stampeders try to run. That's what they do, and Gary Allen will get the first down.
Kuharich said to us in the meeting this morning, he needs a good mix of run and pass. He doesn't care if he starts with the pass or the run, but he feels he needs a good mix to have success.
Kuharich saw the flag come up and immediately said, who was that on? Quite away from the play. There was some shoving on the far sidelines. A flag was thrown, and I don't think Kuharich has to worry about it being on a Calgary player.
Objectionable conduct. 28 BC. First down, Calgary.
Not much yardage is marched off when the Stampeders were that close to begin with. They are 1st and goal from the 2-yard line as Larry Crawford was penalized for BC. So close, agonizingly close perhaps. Johnson, Allen, and Petros. Allen takes the handoff and busts to the end zone. And the Stampeders, who have been outplayed until this drive, can get within a point by converting the touchdown.
Once again, they're mixing it up along the goal line, some pushing and shoving. And I know you don't like to see this, but as a head coach, it is showing something about the players. They're getting involved, a little bit of characters coming out. Led by Petros. Good search by the offensive line. He just leaves the ground, and away he goes. Spallettini leads him in.
It would appear the Stampeders are going to try to tie this game with a 2-point convert. And let's remember a rule change this season. If the Lions can somehow intercept, pick up a fumble, however they do it, get the ball to the other end, they can get the 2 points. Johnson fires to the end zone. It is caught, and the game is tied as Larry Willis adds 2 points. And a great drive by the Stampeders. Match is won by the Lions. We are tied at 8 points apiece. Rick Johnson and assistant coach Fred Biletnikoff as they congratulate him for a touchdown march and a 2-point pass.
A good pass by Johnson. He just had to feather it over Larry Crawford, the outstretched fingers. The intensity of a head coach can overflow. It looks like it's working today.
Here's the kick return, and that old man Rivers again for the BC Lions to the 44-yard line.
We'll see Rivers line up at halfback right now with Cherry's knee wrapped in ice. And then again, maybe we won't as he leaves the field.
Oh, he just making sure that he's supposed to line up in Anthony Cherry's spot. We know Cherry won't be there with the ice pack on the knee. He is a versatile player. This is what is known as the restricted import this season in the CFL. Rivers would be playing special teams only, or he can come in for another import, and that's what he's doing now, taking Cherry's place. The ball did come loose, but it's after the whistle. So we make the change on offense for BC and put Rivers beside Anthony Parker in the backfield. And behind Matt Dunnigan, Dave Williams has the touchdown for BC tonight, and Sam Moore helped set up a single. The offensive line, a strength of this Lions team. Dunnigan to Scott Leckie to the Calgary 40. There is a flag. But I don't think it'll affect the play. Dunnigan gets up and says, why hit me late? It just cost you yardage. The Lions are going to get more. And clearly, the penalty should have been called on that.
Well, Dunnigan probably just walk up to him and says, you want to keep hitting me like that, go ahead, because it'll cost you 15 yards every time.
Unnecessary roughness. Calgary, number 38, first out.
They used to be teammates in Edmonton, Bruce Green and Matt Dunnigan.
Harich not arguing with that call. He thought perhaps the Lions were being called for roughing as well. But that wasn't the case. A big play, pass, and penalty. Anthony Parker, nice job waiting for the hole to develop and then running through it to another BC first down.
I think you hit it right on the head, Dave, when you said waiting for the hole and the play to develop. Parker doesn't sprint in there like he's on a 100-yard race. Just sort of tiptoes until he finds that area that the offensive line open up for him.
But the Lions sprint to the ball, and the next play minus the huddle. Dunnigan just laying it up there and running under it. Similar to the first touchdown, David Williams.
David Williams from Illinois last week against Winnipeg caught 7 for 186 yards. He was given the opportunity to make the football team last week, and he did exactly that.
Well, he has certainly eased the concerns of the Lions and their fans. After the trade of Jim Sandusky to Edmonton for Matt Dunnigan, there were questions about who would catch Dunnigan's passes, and now Williams has caught 9 of them in a couple of games and has really made an impact.
One thing he seems to be able to do nicely is move to where the ball's thrown. The quarterback will lead the receiver 3 steps back. He's running to congratulate him right now. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
You know, Dunnigan's wisdom extends beyond the actual football field, too. One of the first things he did when he got here was talk about how big a pleasure it was to work with the receivers he had here. And he was smart enough to know that they'd traded a good one to get him, and that the fellows who were left might be wondering whether Matt Dunnigan thought they were good enough. He immediately said they were, and even then some people wondered. Now Dave Williams is proving that Matt Dunnigan was right, and Sam Moore didn't do a bad job on an earlier scoring march for the Lions as well. And Dunnigan is always smart enough to congratulate everybody else for points made, though his pass was perfect.
Well, that enthusiasm will work over to the other players, and that's a great way to build confidence in your teammates.
Tony Martino says ouch as he kicks the ball off again. McVeigh takes this one in his arms this time. He is from the University of Toronto and a good runner, Andy McVeigh. At halftime, Calgary's Rick Johnson calls opinions instead of signals.
I like listening to stories about Joe Chapp. He was a stud, and he was a quarterback, and he didn't take crap from anybody.
Chapp, of course, a Stampeder and a Lion. His name is here at BC Place Stadium beside the number that is retired in his honor, 22. This is 12 for Calgary. Tim Petras being hit by Walter Ballard of the Lions, who lead once more 15-8.
One thing that impressed me last week is we look at one of the great quarterbacks in the CFL is the way the Lion defense went to the ball downfield, even the big men, and that made a difference.
Dave Williams has 2 touchdowns for the Lions on 2 Matt Dunnigan passes. Gary Allen has scored the Calgary touchdown. An interesting first quarter of play. Certainly the Lions deserve to be ahead and perhaps could be ahead by more. But the Stampeders rallied nicely the last time they had the ball. Second quarter. Johnson had a receiver wide open, but he couldn't throw him the ball. Tolbert had to lean back and couldn't catch it, and the Stampeders will send Glenn Harper and the punt team out.
I would have liked to see the look on Tolbert's face as he went across the middle. There was absolutely no one even coming in from behind, and I know Rick Johnson saw it and tried to strong arm the ball with James Quick Parker in his face. They'll go back to that one.
Rivers now goes back to return Glenn Harper's punt. Rivers was exciting the last time. In full stride, he takes this one. Avoided a couple of tackles, but didn't go very far. At the 30-yard line, Rivers is down as the Stampeders cover it well. A 36-yard Glenn Harper punt. At the snap to Dunnigan, he hands the ball off. The ball is fumbled, but after the whistle. And the Stampeders doth protest, and I guess they're going to give it to them. Initially, the signal was that the whistle had come first, but the Stampeders come up with a football, and maybe it pays to argue.
Well, I think the first reaction of the official is the ball went with Rivers up into the right side there. The ball's dropped right now. There it goes out.
Not much doubt about that.
Bernie Morrison's on it quickly.
So Anthony Cherry is hurt. Gonzo Rivers goes in as a running back and fumbles the football, and the Stampeders now with an eye to tying this game. First down inside the BC 30. The end zone, touchdown, Stampeders, Emmanuel Tolbert, and another great pass by Johnson. It went a long way, and as soon as he threw it, you knew it was going to be close. And as soon as Tolbert was clear, it was going to be a touchdown.
Well, if there was any question that Rick Johnson's arm wasn't 100%, he had to strong arm that in there. Good protection by the up front, but again, Tolbert finds the seam. You see Braswell dropping back and moving on the running back coming out. But there's that seam in that 3 deep. Tolbert found it.
Hey, please, man. Big league, Jay. Catch you, Jay. Go, baby.
1 point is needed to tie the game this time, and the Stampeders will take J.T. Hayes' convert and create another tie, our second of the game. 15-15 after Johnson and Emmanuel Tolbert connect for 6 points. The infraction was for all to see, so Lorenzo Rivers' punt return is wiped out. The ball comes back to the BC 11-yard line. Lions have enjoyed good field position, better than this, all night long. The size of Jim Mills obliterates the guy who is doing the talking, and that's quarterback Matt Dunnigan. Williams cut to the inside and goes to the 20-yard line, maybe the 21, close to a first down. It looks as though they've worked together a long time. That's not the case.
BC Lions have been able to move the ball successfully, almost at will. I think a lot of it has to do with that hurry-up offense that they've been executing. And that communication between Williams, Moore, and Dunnigan, I think, comes from a lot of extra work at practice after everyone else has gone in.
Second and not very much needed for a BC first down. Rivers goes high and drops the ball as he comes down, but it is a first down made prior to that. The sticks move. Lions first down out at their 22-yard line, 23-yard line. Too low for Jan Carinci. Dave Williams complaining about some treatment he received.
Well, they're going to have to mix their defense up a little bit more because they're not getting to Dunnigan nearly as quickly as they want to. Little bump at the end there, but that's not enough. You're going to have the Stamps are going to have to get up in his face, start to get some hands up.
He has time again. Williams' cut was made a little late, and the ball was thrown out of bounds. He'll complain again. Larry Kuharich won't, though. The Stampeders will get the ball back, trailing by 7 points.
And should be in good position, too, with a decent return. And I think the BC Lions have finally been slowed down a bit by that Calgary defense.
Martino had some trouble punting, had trouble getting a couple of them away last week, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers did a good job in that regard again. Oh, forget that. This is a problem for the Lions. The game is a convert away from being tied. I was going to credit Winnipeg with a good job both weeks at blocking punts, but the Calgary Stampeders did it perfectly that time, and the Lions give away the 7-point lead, and Larry Donovan wonders why.
Donovan said yesterday, without Terrace, Glear, and Moretto in there, some veteran players on special teams, mistakes are made, and it doesn't take much if you don't step down on a man. You should be working inside out. The man's on your inside shoulder. You step down as you see Moretto get up with that sore right foot.
Now, as somebody who has kicked balls before, there is little that I can see in a replay that shows me Tony Martino could have done anything to prevent that, except maybe try and run the ball, but he kicked it as fast as he had to. He took what appeared to be a good snap, so somebody's missing something along the line.
There's no question that somebody's missing an assignment up front. But even when they get those assignments down, and I'm sure they will before this game's over, if Larry Donovan has anything to do with it, the impression that has been made on Martino right now, he's had another one blocked. He's going to be looking up. It's going to bother him as the game goes on.
As clean a punt block as you'd ever see. And the Stampeders had no trouble recovering it for a touchdown either. So it's been a problem in both games for the BC Lions.
Scott Flagel, trade from Winnipeg, or actually not the trade, free agent for the Calgary Stampeders. At free safety, made a big play. He's done it many times as a Blue Bomber, and this is his first as a Stampeder. And you're right, Dave, he's untouched. He just goes right to where the ball's kicked.
He was voted the outstanding Canadian in this league last season as a Blue Bomber. Stampeders take too much time to kick the ball off, and I don't know how that could happen or why. It must be said that Scott Flagel has not yet, until this very moment perhaps, had the impact on the Stampeders that he did on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and they've been waiting for him to flash that all-league form as a defensive back. They don't mind a bit that he did it as a member of a special team.
No, but that safety position is very important on a defense. As a young kicker will think maybe a little bit more the next time he lines up to receive the snap from center.
Well, Haig at good distance after the penalty drove Rivers back to his 25, where the little guy can run. Another flag is down.
For returners to be successful on special teams, the other 11 guys have to work and work like crazy to make a seam for them. And sometimes they work a little bit too hard.
Illegal block. BC number 27.
It's not uncommon, as I said. You know Rivers can break it at any time. So you try to right there. Carinzi's got a pretty good headlock on Petros.
But another punt return by Rivers. The Lions move backwards, and farther still as Dunnigan is sacked. And finally, the Stampeders get to the BC quarterback, and Harold Hallman makes everybody know it was him.
That's Bernie Morrison, who was just in a deep drop. Pat Clayton, the athletic therapist, very quick to get out to the field.
He went down in a hurry and was in obvious pain right from the beginning. Up front, the guys who got to Dunnigan on this play, and right behind them in the middle, the man who is injured right now, that's the veteran middle linebacker Bernie Morrison. In the secondary for Calgary, Dave McCrary, formerly a cornerback, now a safety on the right side, and Scott Flagel, a man who blocked the punt, is the free safety.
Good look, straight back pressure. They forced Dunnigan out, but there's the outside man working like a unit. It's tough to know really what happened, and we certainly aren't going to guess, but
we like to regularly show you the coaching staff beyond the head coach, whom we see often on the sidelines. For the BC Lions, the assistant coaches look like a bunch of guys who used to coach in Calgary and came to watch their old team, but they're here to beat their old team. Bob Vespasiani, of course, the previous head coach. Prior to Larry Kuharich, Ron Smeltzer, Steve Barato. Morrison not putting any weight on that left foot, or not very much anyway.
You see once again so many players are going to that high cut or high top basketball shoe and quite willing to put aside the old AstroTurf shoe.
Well, we'll check on the condition of Bernie Morrison, obviously a key member of that Calgary defense.
Matt Finley will move into the middle to take his place and still have Jeffers and Green on the outside.
Otherwise, it was a good play for Calgary. They sacked Dunnigan and made second down very long, and the Lions won't get much of it back on a short pass on second down. Well covered was Rivers after he made the catch.
I'm wondering how tired Rivers is going to be in the end of the third quarter. It's getting warmer in here. All the special teamwork he receives, and of course, now being at the running back spot for Anthony Cherry, you know what kind of toll it will take.
The appearance of Tony Martino and the rest of the punt team, we should add, brings a few boos from the fans who are anxious to see what happens this time. Martino got it away, but it's not a good punt. Stampeders will take over the ball in BC territory. Calgary has not led in this game, but here's a chance for the Stampeders to go in front for the first time.
Martino limping off. The Stampeders have 11 men up. The BC Lions chose to put 4 back in front, 4 personal protectors. But that goes to show you right there, you block it once, you don't have to block it the second time to affect the kicker.
Here's the Stampeders with a bit of hurry up on their own. They came out of the huddle fast, and the Lions weren't quite ready. Now they are. Johnson at the line of scrimmage. Marking signals, hands the ball to Allen, who tries to get outside, now cuts it up and gets 4 yards to the 46.
Gary Allen falling around the corner. A new guard, Reggie Irving, is out of the game, and Rob Smith is replacing him at right guard.
Second down, 6 for the Stampeders as they continue to look at the left foot of Bernie Morrison. Johnson with time, with too far. Over Toner's head, and it's 3rd down. Johnson mad at himself, or something else that went wrong on that play.
No, I think you're safe to say he's mad at himself. He had him open to the inside. He just had to bring the ball down a little bit. He is going to more receivers than he usually does, though. He's working Dennis and Toner.
Bernie Morrison had that left foot stepped on as he went back in pass coverage, and I guess he's going to be okay. Glenn Harper will punt. Busier than usual. Rivers takes the punt and goes out at the 18-yard line, so the tie remains.
Pat Clayton, bag of ice. We'll wrap it with a tensor bandage. They already cut the tape off it, so you'd have to assume he won't be back at least for this quarter.
Matt Finley, who's bounced around the CFL before getting to Calgary. Rivers is hit solidly in the middle of the line by the Stampeders. That's Lamont Jeffers. Four minutes to go, tie game in the second quarter. 22 points apiece. Dunnigan's pass wobbles, and Williams felt like a horse pulling a cart as he was dragged down, and a penalty flag flew on Ron Hopkins.
A good move by Hopkins because he's beat to the inside. He bites right here. Whoop. You better hang on because he could catch it. That pass is caught and gone if he doesn't hold on.
Well, Hopkins has seen enough of Williams' back so far tonight. 36-yard line with the penalty, giving BC a first down. Anthony Parker hits up the middle, close to the 45.
Consistently changing it up. Matt Dunnigan knows if he's diversified in his offense, he can keep an aggressive Calgary team and try to get them back on their heels again the way they had them in the first part of the first quarter.
2nd and 2. Dunnigan keeps it, rolls to his right. He thought he could run for it. Now he has to throw, and he hits Carinci. Nice little impromptu pass by Matt Dunnigan to Jan Carinci, and of course the veteran receiver helps out the quarterback by coming back to the ball.
You can't do it much better than Carinci did it right there. Big Kent Warnock. Pat Clayton has been a busy man in this first half. It's a good thing he's in shape. I don't know how many trainers that can run 5-6 miles a day.
Well, the Stampeders with Reggie Irving out of the game, Bernie Morrison.
Dunnigan trying to get to the outside. To do that, you have to seal the outside. Great athletic play here by Quincy Williams. Right here, watch this, just hop over the big guy. That throws Dunnigan off because he's in his face. And you see Carinci come back to the sidelines. That's how to turn a play that could have been just average or maybe a loss into a plus.
And then coming back, of course, he kept getting closer to those sidelines. Had to be sure that he had the foot in bounds after he made the catch. From the BC 50-yard line, first down Lions, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Great position by Carinci. There is a penalty flag thrown. And we'll check on that when we come back. Foster's Lager and the Canadian Football Network are proud to bring you the best of the CFL.
Do you want to make more money? Of course, we all do. So find out how easy it is to train at home for a better career. Pick up the phone and call this free number. There's no obligation and no salesman will visit you. Here at International Correspondence Schools, more than 9 million men and women have trained for job promotions and new careers without setting foot inside a classroom. And now at home in your spare time, you can get your diploma or get your degree. Choose any one of these courses: high school, TV VCR repair, computer programming, child daycare, auto mechanics, hotel restaurant management, electrician, legal assistant, veterinary assistant, interior decorating, medical dental office, travel, dressmaking, air conditioning repair, or get your degree. You can major in business management or in accounting. Call for free information on any one of these courses. Then decide if you want to train at home for a better career, to make more money, or advance in your present job. Call 1-800-854-4900. Operators are on duty now to send you free information by return mail. Call 1-800-854-4900.
The penalty was against Calgary's Matt Finley for roughing, and so the Lions now have the ball at the Calgary 31-yard line. Just under 3 minutes to play in this second quarter. Dunnigan throwing it deep for Moore, and he looked over both shoulders and couldn't find the ball over either one. It is thrown too far. Chris Major, good coverage for Calgary.
Very good coverage on Moore by Major. Inside out, he doesn't even take his, just watch those hips. That's the one thing they can't move. And then he had nice adjustment right there. Moore tries to go to the football, but Major has the outside taken away.
For all that running, there's not much of a breather for Sam Moore. He's back lining up. Dunnigan quickly tries to get away from the first man and did. That was Stu Laird, but the rest of the Stampeders buried him.
One of the few times the Stampeders have brought everyone and actually got a couple of guys through. Here come the linebackers. Finley and Green picks a gap. One's picked up, but Green is not from the outside. Try to make the offensive lineman or running back make a choice and then make him make the wrong choice, and that's what he did.
Tony Martino with another punting adventure for the Lions. That's a nice high punt into the end zone. The Stampeders will be wise to give a point. And they do, and the Lions go back in front again. And the fans are happier with the work of the BC punt team.
Well, that has to make the young fellow feel awfully good. Not only did he get good contact and make a nice punt, get a single point out of it, but the front 11 did their jobs, and that has to give him some more confidence.
The Lions have not trailed in this game, though we have been tied at 8-8, 15-15, and 22-22, and are now no longer tied. The Lions ahead 23-22. Nothing on the first down run for the Stampeders and Tim Petros.
Braswell filling that middle linebacker spot. The man that Donovan calls contagious. This week in practice it was 34 degrees, and he didn't let up a bit.
Johnson. We saw that he wanted to throw to Willis all the way on that one and waited till he got to the sidelines and the pass became a bit safer. Still had to throw a nice accurate pass to make the completion and get the first down.
In that hurry-up offense, 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the second quarter. Stampeders would like to get down and preferably get a touchdown, I'm sure.
a short gain on a first down run for the Stampeders. A little bit of work done on the right hand of Matt Dunnigan, and I suppose we should make sure that's not serious. The Lions certainly will. And Calgary's 51. Johnson to Tolbert. Got away from one and two men and went out of bounds at the 40-yard line. I'll put him out actually a little earlier than that at the 42. So the Stampeders are going to have a scoring opportunity late in this first half, and it could put them in front for the first time.
What an advantage having a guy inside the receiver, has the quickness and speed to be able to go across the formation like that and get away from not only the linebacker, but the defensive back.
Johnson is getting the time to throw the ball. Threw it deep. Willis had to go out of bounds to try to get there, and of course that made him an ineligible receiver had he been able to get to the ball. Johnson says, let's forget that one. Remember, stay with us at halftime. A look at Rick Johnson, the actor, as well as Rick Johnson, the football quarterback. He talks at some length about his aspirations on stage following his career on the field. And says, if those other guys in Hollywood can do it, why not me? Nice safe pass for a first down. Toner made more yards after the catch. Stops the clock, of course, when you throw it there.
Well, in this last offseason, Johnson was involved with Stage West Productions in Alberta, and he was in a show called The Nerds, and they played both in Calgary and Edmonton. He worked out at Commonwealth Stadium while the play was going on, just before the season started.
Well, I was going to say it takes guts to get up there, but especially in a play called The What? Tolbert can't get there. Johnson's almost got too much power in that arm at times tonight.
Hey, he's doing it right, though. He's stretching him.
Earlier on in his career, he was criticized once in a while that when he throws the short ball to his backs or the inside receivers, that there was just too much zip. He's a big, strong guy. He just grip that ball like I grip a tennis ball. But as his career has progressed, he's got a nice touch on his football.
Well, the passes aren't usually dangerous when they're thrown that way. If they're over the head of the intended receiver, they're generally over the head of the defender as well. So a big play now. 2nd and 10 from the 30. All sorts of movement on both sides, and they'll let the officials figure out who was at fault.
No infraction on that play.
Which really is the same thing as saying there was no play.
Good look at Rick Warman.
So this is the play that we waited for the last time. 2nd down 10. Nice pass again. Johnson to Toner. They've had success with it on this drive, and they go right back to it to keep the drive going with plenty of time remaining. 1:37, and the Stampeders threatening to go in front for the first time.
Calgary's having good success taking their wide receiver on the outside, running him down the field, and clearing that underneath area where Drawhorn's trying to cover Toner.
The fans help the Lions in situations like this. A lot of noise. Especially after the Lions respond with a play like that, stuffing the run by Tim Petrus.
Players often refer to the crowd as the 13th man. They can make a big impression when you try to call a play. Or you can sometimes, as a quarterback, come up, and if you're going to go on first count, there's not a problem. But if you want to call an audible, you're in big trouble. And it can get loud in here.
So the Stampeders take a loss. Of course, they are well within J.T. Hayes' field goal range. Should this play not produce a first down, and the field goal would put them into the lead. But first, Johnson wants more than 3. Fired it low, and he took a hit for his efforts.
Number 79, Walter.
Away from the Stampeder pursuit, though, with 1:02 remaining. The Lions will take the ball at their 27. Matt Dunnigan is the first-string quarterback in Vancouver. The second stringer, Rick Foggy, will play in each and every game if Larry Donovan's plan is utilized. He says he wants to get Foggy action if possible, and he'll try hard to do that. He got in late in last week's game. No sign of him yet, of course, tonight, with the game very close. Dunnigan has it in his hip. Now puts it into the hands of Lorenzo Rivers. He's tough to catch, but also it seems tough to bring down when you do catch it.
Low to the ground. He has a great running posture. People almost seem to bounce off him. You're right, he's not that big, but he seems to shed tacklers well.
Dunnigan hits Scott Leckie as they take Anthony Cherry to the dressing room a bit early. So the Lions are going to keep throwing the ball in the last minute of the half. Unless Dunnigan runs, and that's what he'll do here. And a great run it is. He gets out of bounds to be safe and to stop the clock. 34 seconds left, and the Lions have manufactured a scoring opportunity of their own late in this first half.
Matt Dunnigan going straight back. Doesn't want to turn his head. He wants to see exactly what the defense is going, but pressure from Hallman forces him out. But watch him. He doesn't run out of bounds here. He heads straight back upfield. He knows he has to get by that first down marker. Now he knows he has to stop the clock.
I dare say we've seen more entertainment in this 30 minutes of football than in any 60-minute game that you'd want to talk about prior to this in this CFL season. There have been runaway victories in 4 of 6 other games, and the other 2 weren't really close enough or exciting enough to compliment at length, but this has been quite a first half.
Well, as we know, with the heat inside this stadium comes cramps, and I think we're seeing one of the first. Eugene Belleville. It's a hot one, and it's not really to anyone's advantage in here when it gets warm, because the Lions don't practice here.
Ball at the 39, Stampeder territory. Dunnigan throwing it deep for David Williams again. No contact, no flag, as there was contact, but I think a good no call by the officials. They were both trying to get to the ball, and I think trying to do it as legally as possible.
Well, Matt Dunnigan has been a force in today's game. 279 total yards, and he was trying to get a few more right there. Good coverage by Ron Hopkins, though.
He's got almost 300 total yards passing and running in this game as Matt Dunnigan down the sideline with room. Scott Leckie, and you can see there's still time for the Lions.
22 seconds left. And you bet all the players on the offensive team and on the defensive side of the ball are aware of the clock.
Now, you think Tony Martino wants him to score a touchdown or come up short and have him go on for a field goal? Good meeting at the football between receiver and defender. And Hopkins did a good job on Williams that time.
Well, giving Williams some room. He has to be very careful. We've seen Williams go down once today, give that little duke inside, and then spin back to the outside. But Hopkins made sure the ball was in the air before he closed the distance.
Dunnigan tries for 6. Touchdown in the corner, Scott Leckie.
I think what we have to do is give credit to the front 5, the big hogs as they're called. Mills, Roper, Sinclair, Jamie Bewis, and Leo Blanchard. Good job of protection and giving Dunnigan a movable pocket back there, and then he just feathers it into Scott Leckie.
I don't know what Larry Hogue thought, that the ball wasn't going to get that far, but he seemed to wait for it about 4 yards in front of Leckie, and that was clearly not the place to be.
And that injury to Dunnigan's hand certainly hasn't affected him a lot.
Well, Martino makes a convert tough, but he got it through, and the BC Lions have reached the 30-point mark in the first half, and Dunnigan is over 300 total yards already. To announce the game as well, Matt.
It's the new haircut.
I wasn't going to say barn burner.
I knew you weren't.
But
you couldn't describe it any better, though. Back and forth. It's a great type of game to be in as long as you're on top when it's over.
Well, we've still got 13 seconds left in the first half. From Tony Martino now. That ball is, of course, free to either team. Now suddenly Andy McVeigh picks it up and finds room and almost runs through Martino. Carinci was there to make the actual tackle. And with 7 seconds to go, the Stampeders have the ball at the 49 of the line.
You just saw why Andy McVeigh, or one of the reasons why he made this Stampeder club last year from the University of Toronto. As a backup running back, but took a situation that looked like he was just going to cover it up, and good acceleration up that little seam that was given to him.
Well, that kind of kick is designed to prevent exactly the sort of run that McVeigh produced. Clock is moving, and they'll toss it off to Allen. He'll have to get out of bounds quickly to preserve at least 1 second on the clock. That's exactly what he does. And the Stampeders will come back, and now they're going to send J.T. Hay on the field after they call timeout just to make sure. It's going to be a long field goal try by Hay.
Well, there haven't been too many kickers that have come into the CFL that have had the success that this man, both in percentage and the way he's been off the field, and the community in Calgary very involved.
His last field goal was good and put the Stampeders in front. This one can't give them the lead, but can get them within 2 points at halftime, and it is a 54-yard attempt. Down, kicked, and up again. Nothing. Larry Crawford has a chance to put a bit more excitement into this first half. He goes down, and the Lions go to the dressing room with the lead that they have had most of the way in the first half. The score now reads 30-25 for the Lions. If the Lions lose this game, there'll be a lot of talk about their kicking game, but as yet, BC is in front. However, the Stampeders have thoughts of changing that. First down from the BC 35. Johnson all by himself with a naked bootleg, and he'll get a first down to about the 23-yard line of the Lions. So J.T. Hay is going to have a chance to give them a 1-point lead, you would think, and the Stampeders will try for the touchdown that could make it a bigger one.
Well, again, we see the advantage of having a successful running game as the time goes on throughout the game.
Illegal procedure. Calgary, number 69, first down repeated.
Well, they're still in field goal range, but not really what I meant. The Johnson run doesn't count, and they're back at the 40-yard line. First to get down again and 15 yards to go. Johnson a screen, and Petrus did all he could do to catch it, couldn't run with it, so it's no gain on the play.
Well, once again, we've seen Calgary try to run a screen a number of times tonight, and they're not getting an opportunity to set it up very well. BC defense playing it well. The side that the screen seems to be going to, they're very soft.
Well, they have Tolbert and Willis on the same side, the two big receivers. Let's see who Johnson looks for. Emmanuel Tolbert went from one side to the other, but he didn't get much yardage. Just back to that 35-yard line, which was the original line of scrimmage. And it will have to be J.T. Hay to try to put Calgary up by a single point. Lions have misfired on 2 field goal attempts, but J.T. Hay has made a couple. The third one was a long one that was just a little bit short and wide. This a 42-yard effort that could erase a 2-point BC lead. Hay drives into the ball and makes the field goal, and the Stampeders are up by a point.
Good execution from the center, the holder, and then the kicker. It's amazing what that timing can produce. J.T. Hay, as I mentioned earlier, a successful kicker. So consistent, so consistent. Watch the follow through. Nice play, spins the laces away. That head stays down. Yes, sir.
The Stampeders had a brief lead in the first half. It was a 2-point lead. This a 1-point lead, but they'd like to hold it a while longer. 33,000 people at BC Place Stadium on a lovely Friday evening in Vancouver. That attendance down about 5,000 from the opener against Winnipeg, which of course featured the return of Roy DeWalt and the debut of Matt Dunnigan.
Look at Mr. Activity on defense. You know, people say he talks and chats a lot on the field, but he's very helpful, very active, and very aggressive linebacker. Fits in well for the Lions.
Crawford and not Rivers is back for the Lions, and Crawford picks his way out to the 43-yard line. First down, BC there.
Larry Crawford's been doing that for years, whether it's been kickoff returns or punt returns. He just seems to glide upfield. He's broken many. He's just got that uncanny ability to find the gap and make people miss him as he's going up. Does a good job of reading where the blocks are going as Dunnigan gets ready to start from his own 42-yard line.
Crawford likes to wait until the season gets 8 or 10 games old before he starts to do a lot of punt returns. He looks faster that way when he waits. Dunnigan back on his heels. Threw a nice pass though to Carinci. Had to come back for it and so did not get the first down.
The Stamps continue to pressure Dunnigan. They know the only way to really disrupt this offense is to disrupt their quarterback. Carinci just smooth, goes down the field, finds that area.
Second down and a couple. Dunnigan saw Johnson make yards that way. Now throws a pass. It'll be intercepted. The receiver went one way and the defender waited for the ball. Major flips it off to Flago. Penalty flag. He'll go down with the ball. That's the important thing right now. The Stampeders have it. The penalty with Calgary leading 31-30 and 10:34 left. The only number that Dunnigan doesn't like up there is the one that was just put there, the 1 interception.
You've got to run them like they're drawn up, and it looks like Moore improvised a bit, saw the coverage was there, broke it to the sidelines, but you've got to stay with it.
The flag was for the forward lateral, so the ball stays where it was flipped ahead. McVeigh, some fresh legs into that Calgary backfield. Braswell beginning to lead his cheering section, which might be important down the stretch here with 10 minutes to go.
Larry Donovan's tactic for Braswell is they don't let him work on any special teams. They want him to stay fresh. Good lateral movement. He gets by the block of Gary Allen and keeps going to the outside, and it pays off keeping him fresh.
Second down, Johnson again with time, and he throws an interception. An errant pass thrown into the arms of Anthony Drawhorn. The receiver was there waiting for the ball, and I think Drawhorn might have been a bit surprised that it came to him.
The Drawhorn just a step behind Marshall Toner. He's had a couple of tough coverages tonight, but it couldn't be a bigger play than this. He just heads up. Ball's underthrown. Backpedal, read what the quarterback's doing. Now go to the football. Aha! Now turn offense.
32-yard line, and a good hole for Anthony Parker, who's going to take it to the 10 and close to the 5.
Anthony Parker leaves the trail of white jerseys. He's going over the right side. Leo Blanchard and Jamie Buis, then he kicks it up and pops it outside away from the linebackers, and then just hits straight upfield.
If he had one, his business card would read A.D. Horn. That's what he likes to be known as. Complete name is Anthony Drawhorn, and that's a very big turnover for BC. 1 of 5 in this game for the Lions. They mark the ball at the 6, first and goal from there.
See Bruce Green come off the linebacker. Now they're out of linebackers with Bernie Morrison out, Matt Finley, who was the backup linebacker. So you'll see Greg Peterson in the game, at least for one play.
Lorenzo Rivers to the corner, touchdown.
The running back has to work inside out. A super lead block by Parker on Larry Hogue right here. Boom, he's in his face. He dips in and now runs to the corner. Well, he isn't. I suggested earlier that he might be a little bit tired. He's not tired yet.
We've waited a while for the first touchdown of the second half after all the scoring in the first half. Rivers puts the Lions back in front by 6 points.
Yeah, but you get the feeling it's a long way from being over with 8 minutes, 51 seconds left.
They do have fun, these BC Lions. They had more fun last week when they won in a breeze 36-3 over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but here they are topping that point total tonight and not yet having the game salted away. Far from it.
Well, we saw Anthony Cherry scoring that same play twice last week and running it to perfection, and then once again, just different tailback with great execution up front by the big guys and a great lead block by Anthony Parker.
We looked at Rick Warman there on the bench. We'll see if he comes off that bench. Rick Johnson has thrown 2 costly interceptions in the second half.
Sure enough.
So Johnson stays where he is.
That's tough. You get in a situation where you want to win the football game. You want to be the person that's under the pressure. And even though he's thrown the interceptions, he wants to get back in there, I'm sure.
Well, Larry Kuharich said, if I change quarterbacks, I change. It'll be the second guy in the rest of the way. So he's going to give this game to Warman to win or lose.
Yes.
No good. Willis pounds the ball into the turf. Almost 50%. Over 200 yards. A touchdown pass, but the 2 interceptions, I think, are the reason, and especially the last one, that he's out of the game. Second down for Warman, who completed his first pass in this game and fumbled the ball in the very same play. That's a pass that gets to the receiver on 1 bounce. So based on that series, you'd wonder about switching quarterbacks.
It's tough for a guy to come in who hasn't played all game, probably hasn't thrown too many balls on the side to warm up. Now he has to come in a situation, read the defenses, and unload the ball, and more importantly, make some completions.
Rivers, who scored the touchdown, is usually back returning the punts, but because he's working extra duty on offense, Rivers gets a rest, and Larry Crawford is back to take this Glenn Harper punt. If it ever gets away, it's not going to get to Crawford, that's for sure. So for all of their own problems getting punts away. The Lions create one for the other team. While we were away, Matt Dunnigan threw the ball to the end zone, and Chris Major intercepted for the Calgary Stampeders. Dunnigan overthrowing his receiver, and Major staying with the ball. He brought it out, too, from the end zone to give the Stampeders decent field position. Now we're back live, and a penalty flag is thrown as Tony Dennis tried to get to the pass thrown by Rick Warman.
Andre Francis will be called for pass interference.
BC number 14, first down.
Well, it looks like Warman's got the arm back. He threw that ball pretty well.
First down, Stampeders at their 42. We have 6:20 remaining, and Calgary trails by 6 points. They try to pressure Warman. He throws to the sidelines. Ball is caught, and Willis turns it upfield. Gets into the 46-yard line of the Lions.
Lots of chatter from Willis. He says the more he talks, the better he plays, and he can perform. He gets down, just runs a simple comeback back to the ball. Now, he can be scary if he can get back inside with his speed.
A lot better on this series for Rick Warman than the last one, as Rick Johnson watches from the sideline. Gary Allen has not far to go. Dragged down from behind by Gino Mingo.
Well, this trap play has been very successful. You watch the guard pull out there. Smith, he'll kick out where the defensive lineman was left, but Mingo obviously playing that technique that Donovan wants him to. Didn't watch the back, but he read the offensive line.
Here come the Lions at Rick Warman. Sideline pass thrown, and the ball is caught. Great work by Willis to stay in bounds.
Well, in this situation, the BC Lions, it seems the more you back them up, the more aggressive they become. The key here, the offensive backs have moved up and taken the linebackers, gives Warman just a little bit more time, but those size 12s just stayed in bounds.
For a Calgary first down at the BC 35. Tim Petros off tackle for 3 yards. If I can read Larry Kuharich's mind and know it well enough, J.T. Hay can sit down. He's going to let the Stampeders score a touchdown or not score at all on this drive with 4.5 minutes left. And here's the biggest play right now toward that end. Warman for Willis, and it's tipped away by Andre Francis.
Great communication in the secondary. I'm sure Willis felt he had the catch. Francis's quickness and speed, be able to catch up was the difference there.
And the mind reading will stop right now because
it was good to know you haven't started thinking like a head football coach anyways, Dave.
J.T. Hay is going to try for 3 unless Rick Johnson has a fake right up that sleeve. 39-yard attempt. Well, they won't be able to try a field goal. Hey, can't do anything with it. Well, I wonder if we could get a shot of Tony Martino right now to show his reaction to the fact it can happen to others as well. Others much more experienced than him.
That ball's coming up and fired up. Johnson doesn't have a prayer. It's a sinking feeling when you have to turn around and try to make something out of nothing.
Parker, a good run up the middle as the Lions turn this latest turnover into some momentum on their part with 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, to be able to grind it out in this situation is great. Your running back and your running game has to carry you throughout the game, but you can bet they'll rely on it now. And the front five offensive line, this is when they get a chance to really tee off.
Now we're back to Larry Donovan's thinking at the start of the game. He'd like to score, but he'd like to take a while to do it. Dunnigan hits Dave Williams. Treated rudely by Ron Hopkins. They've had quite a relationship through this game. Foster's Lager and the Canadian Football Network are proud to bring you the best of the CFL. Following this game, we'll select and talk to our most valuable player, and if he's to come from that bench, then the Stampeders have to pull off a big play in the next little while. The Lions are leading by 6. They have led on all but 2 occasions in this game, and the Stampeders have had 2 brief and slim leads. Parker again for BC. He has scored once. He will score again.
Everyone does it a little bit differently, but a key for a good running back is having a nose for the goal line. And this is how you get it done, right here. Take a couple friends with you.
Tony Martino makes the convert. And the Lions have scored 44 points and lead 44-31, and Matt Dunnigan has been in most of the way, except for losing a contact lens when Rick Foggy came in and produced maybe the most exciting play of the game. What's this?
Just making sure his balance is good.
Foggy to Dan Carinci might have been the play that produced the largest ovation of this game, but the fans have been into it for more reasons than that all night long.
That's a great sign when you see your offensive lineman, Gerald Roper, downfield, making the block and helping him get in the end zone. This is a great fake.
I do believe he thinks he can fly, Neil.
Oh, no, Eddie Edwards right there. That's who he is. He wants to go to the Olympics. The Eagle has landed.
How you doing? Hi, Mom. You'll catch the replay on the ESPN next week.
Tony Parker over 100 yards. Anthony Parker did it for us, but we welcome viewers in the United States on ESPN to a typical game of Canadian football. 75 points have been scored, and it's not over.
Right off me. I ran a slide out for the Clippers. I stopped. I ran into him. And it's there.
I'm really
No, that's why he's got his hair cut like that. The Eagle Dunnigan.
He took 3 of them 5 yards. Hey, man.
Give him some thick glasses. He looks like Eddie Edwards. I'm not kidding.
Warman's still in the game at quarterback for Calgary, and that pass will fall at the 30-yard line. The Lions are going to celebrate what appears to be their second straight victory. And at 2-0, they'll be joined tomorrow by either the Edmonton Eskimos or the Saskatchewan Roughriders, both 1-0, playing at Taylor Field, Regina, and we hope for the same sort of action there as we've seen here.
Warman replacing Rick Johnson, taking a pretty good shot. He's coming off that ankle injury from last year. He still has a plate and some screws in that ankle that will stay there.
The ball bounce. Runs near the 35, a a minute 54, and the Lions now would be wise to try to protect the ball and run the clock, but this devil-may-care BC offense doesn't usually do that. Larry Kuharich is going to go home 0-2. Not entirely unpredictable when the Stampeders began on the road against Edmonton and BC. Certainly a lot more good things out of this game for Calgary than the first one.
Well, you have to be able to come out of a bad situation and build, and I think, as you said, there's lots of good things to build on. Lots of excitement to go, some breakdowns, but hey, this BC Lion football team's good.
Dunnigan to Parker. He'll lose one of those 104 yards on that play.
It kind of tells you right there it's been a long day. Quincy Williams taking an 8 count before he has to get up.
Really, the 2 interceptions that Rick Johnson threw may be the 2 plays that the Stampeders want to think about more than any. Keith Gooch in the end zone when the Stampeders at one point were first and goal from the 2. And then the interception by Anthony Drawhorn at the Calgary 32-yard line that allowed the Lions to go in for what looks now like the winning touchdown by Lorenzo Rivers. Both passes were thrown directly to the defender and not to the receiver. Otherwise, not a bad day for Johnson, but those were critical mistakes. Rivers, as the Lions do keep the ball on the ground, try to move the clock, and they will now punt it.
Only a 31.5-yard average, 1 blocked for a touchdown. It's been a tough night for the rookie.
But it can happen on the other side, too, as we saw with the field goal try by J.T. Hay. Boy, he just got that one away. Flags down on that play. The fans really aren't too pleased with Martino. I guess he had to come in and dazzle him when he replaced Louis Pasaglia, but he's just doing anything he can to kick the ball away, and it's not his fault that the Stampeders are right at him.
BC number 8 on the face mask. Up 15, first down.
Bud Steen's had a busy night. Lives in Edmonton as a lawyer, practicing lawyer in Edmonton. Seems like he's kept things in control. It could have got out of hand early when people started shoving and throwing punches.
Gorman fires it into the ground after it looked like he might try and throw and hit the lights in the roof. Martino a little happier now that he avoided that punt block and that he's going to be on the winning side for the second straight week.
Well, that's the worst thing you can do, and I'm sure it's in his mind every time he gets on the field is, geez, I hope this one isn't blocked too.
Minute 17 to go. The Stampeders with very slim hopes of getting back in this game. Petros took the pass and got to the 45-yard line. I'm still trying to figure out the Eddie the Eagle Edwards impersonation by Matt Dunnigan. It was always my thought that he, may be talkative as he is, might want to come up to the broadcast booth, but now you're telling me he'd like to jump from it? Is that...
Well, they haven't backed off. I kind of like that in a football game, even though things are in hand for the Lions. They don't seem to be backing off one bit. They want to make an impression. That posse, as they're called.
Warman over the middle. No, they haven't backed off. Marshall Toner met Jeff Braswell.
You know, as much as Braswell talks, Donovan was saying that He says an awful lot of good things. He yaps a lot, but during practice, he's asking people how their family are, and he doesn't see it as a problem to the defense. It doesn't bring anyone down. As a matter of fact, he says it brings up the quiet guys, the Stumans and the Parkers. They rise to that, gets them pumped up.
I think he might talk about the opponent's families during the game. Not quite the same way. Well, they all celebrate now. It's a defense that wants as much credit as this BC offense is obviously going to get. They have created a nickname for themselves. They call themselves the Posse. They ride together.
Well, one of the posse almost made a jump on this ball and was on his way in front of his own bench down for 6 points. Dennis did a good job of breaking that up.
Warman perseveres in the final minute. Colbert. And the feelings start to get out of hand here as Stampeders react to the BC aggressiveness on defense.
That sort of tells it right there. What do you want me to do?
Well, it is a tough spot for Warman coming in as he did late in the game and really being asked to decide the game as the Calgary quarterback. They would still be in it perhaps if J.T. Hay had been able to kick a field goal and cut the lead to 3 points. But once that snap went awry and the Lions went down and scored, the game was effectively over. Now in this situation, the officials, and I suppose both teams, just hope they can get the game over with without anybody tossing a punch.
Hi, Rena. Hi, Mama. Hi, Daddy. Hey, my little sister at University of Florida. What's up, baby? I'm seeing some money later on.
And he talks about his own family.
Get straight A's. Hard work pays, get straight up A's. All right.
If I was a sister, I'd listen.
One more snap to Dunnigan. More time off the clock. 15 seconds now. Tough loss for Larry Kuharich. They led in this fourth quarter by a point, but they now trail by 13.
Well, a new football team from last week at Commonwealth Stadium. Not a winning one, but a new one. And the signs that they did not see last week, I'm sure he saw tonight. But they have to get better.
That'll do it. The last snap to Matt Dunnigan, and the BC Lions celebrate their second straight win at Place Stadium. They defeat the Calgary Stampeders 44-31. The BC Lions, 913 total yards in offense for both teams, but the Lions had 44 points of the Calgary Stampeders 31. A lot of passing, a lot of running for the British Columbia Lions, and Anthony Parker ran the ball twice for touchdowns. Dave Williams had 2 touchdown catches, and Scott Leckie had 1 as the Lions did it all on offense tonight. A blend directed by Matt Dunnigan. Anthony Parker is our most valuable player with all the passing that was done. I guess it is nice to be recognized for the running part of the game, but it is a big part of this offense, isn't it, Tony?
Yes, it is. We've tried to mix it in at least half and half, run and pass. Tonight, I think we may have done a little more passing, but late in the game, I think the guys got a little tired for Calgary's defense, and we were able to open up some big holes and therefore run out the clock in the fourth quarter.
Now, what changed when Anthony Cherry went out of the game? Did your assignments change? Did you expect to see the ball a little more after that?
No, not really, because we had Lorenzo Rivers come in and back him up, and you know, the guy's got great speed. He's a little young yet a little light, but our assignments didn't change any. I think we went more with the fullback because of the experience.
What else is different about this offense apart from Matt Dunnigan? What is different for you, if anything?
Well, basically what we do now, being that we have a really mobile quarterback, we try to get outside a lot more, and our blocking is geared to get Matt outside so he can do some of the things that he does best, like run, make people miss, and throw the ball on the run as well.
Is it more fun for you? Because it sure looks like it's fun for everybody who's playing.
Well, yeah, it is, because he spreads the ball around. He doesn't have any favorite receiver, I don't think. or, you know, he runs the ball to both backs, and that's good, and all the receivers seem to get their share, so it's working out well.
You couldn't have a better start. Two straight victories. Now a game against Toronto, considered perhaps the best team in the East. What's ahead for the Lions, do you think?
Well, after watching Toronto the other night against Ottawa, they were pretty tough, especially their defense. I think we're going to have to establish the run against those guys in order to beat them, and our defense have to come up a little bigger than they did tonight to stop Finnerty and those receivers that they have out there in Toronto.
Okay, you say that with a smile, have to establish the run. I know you want the football again as you had it tonight. Our congratulations to a two-touchdown man, the MVP of this game, Anthony Parker of the BC Lions, who defeated Calgary by a score of 44-31.